Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, May 8th. It is 6:25 right now. Market's going to open in about 5 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick, and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a few things here to update, and we should be good to go. Here. Looks like we're good. So let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. There. All right, guys, people join in. I'm going to go ahead and start marking liquidity over here. It's going to mark up to closer levels of liquidity. It's kind of pointless to go super far off. $30-minute. $10-minute. All right, we're good. So, all right, guys, I marked up liquidity over here. Closest level of liquidity is going to be above over here at 39,016, and the closest level below is going to be at 38,936. Looking over here on our main chart, or our clean chart, actually, I'll mark up 6:30, mark up 8 o'clock, up to the 4-hour time frame, identify structure. All right, we got structure there, structure down there, structure down there, structure there, going down to the 1 hour, structure right there, structure right there, and structure down there. All right, so we've got pretty much all the structure marked up here. Looking at current price, it's not super close to any of those structures, so we'll see what happens in the market here opens. I've marked up the structure right there on the clean chart. Looking over here on our main chart, so I think we had some loan pack news this morning, 4 o'clock. We have more news at 7 and 7:30. So 4, 7, and 7:30. Mark that up real quick. 4 o'clock is, all right, that big candle right there. 7 and 7:30. All right, guys, market is opening up in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Market is now open. So here goes the opening candle right here. Color that blue. So you got open price right there. right, we're good to go. So market is now open, guys. Looking at current movement right here, the ATR is currently at 8 ATR, so it's pretty low right now. There wasn't really much news this morning. There was news at 4 o'clock. It was low impact MBA purchase index, mortgage refinance index, mortgage applications, mortgage market index, and the mortgage rate. So pretty much not much of a change. It's pretty much like slight news over here, not even like high impact. There was even not even a consensus. It's just news that was released. So we got that there. ATR is pretty low right now. At 7 o'clock, we have wholesale inventories, inflation rate, year over year, month over month. And then gas stocks at 7:30, which is normal for a Wednesday. So there's not really too much news going on today in the market, like we said yesterday. It's mainly going to be a lot of just normal movement in the market. I think market will be bullish today. So this is looking pretty good right here. We currently have a bullish push. The PRB will probably be for a buy today, as you guys can see. It's currently bullish right now with regard to the trend. You're having a nice rejection off the pivots. Price is pushing up higher. There's no specific entries for us to take here, at least not yet. But the reason why I think it's going to be bullish is because of the retail sentiment. Retail sentiment is currently 69% short. This indicates that 69% of retail traders are currently selling right now. So we typically want to do the opposite and buy, of course. So we'll see what happens there. It looks like liquidity might have gotten hit so far. Not yet, almost. Getting pushed up to that upper level of liquidity right there, which is at 39,016. So that's probably going to get hit pretty soon. It's currently rejecting off the sessions right here. This could be setting up for the PRB entry. All right, liquidity just got hit right there, went straight to full TP. So if anybody caught the liquidity right there, I don't even know if it hit full TP yet. The volatility is actually really low. So it just touched the liquidity right there, tapped it. But you guys can see it is touching the sessions right here as well. So that's a tricky area to trade. It's an area of manipulation. So ATR is picking up slightly. It's currently at 12 ATR, but it's still pretty low, in my opinion. Typically, you want it to be around like 15 or so, but we shouldn't really expect too much high ATR today, specifically because there's not much news. And then on top of that, because this week's just been slow altogether. So it's been pretty much a snail week all week. And you just got to take it as is. So there's no entries for us to take here yet. The PRB could be setting up. So if you get a bottom wick rejection off a pivot, that's going to be the PRB entry. There's no breakout B3 entries right now. Here is our clean chart. I'll come back to the clean chart a little later. It's not really established yet, but once we get a higher high that's established, and a new lower low, we actually have a lower low that's here already. I'll make some adjustments when the new lower low comes up, but we'll just mark this up for now. And I'll mark this up for now as well, unless price pushes up higher. So we do have a bit of a range that's currently established, or it's not established yet, but it's establishing right now because this higher high hasn't been established yet. Once it establishes, we can pretty much have that set in place and you guys can see exactly where the range is happening. Nothing new here. This is kind of what's been happening all week. So if you guys remember from Monday and Tuesday, price kind of typically moves initially on open. It creates the range. Once it creates the range, it'll start to go back and forth. I mean, price can easily break past this area. This higher high again is not established yet. And it looks like it's probably going to break past it here. So I'll draw that higher high once it's actually established, but it's not established yet. The market movement here is a little slow. It's starting to pick up though. The ATR is now at 14. So it went from 9 to 10 to 12, now 14, and it's pushing up towards 15. So that's a good sign. Looks like the PRB just filled on this red candle right here, guys. I'm not sure if anybody caught it. So if you guys were listening to me earlier, I mentioned the PRB would set up if we had that bottom wick rejection off the pivot. So these initial candles over here were the first rejection. This doji candle right here was a space consolidation candle. And this red candle right here came down and touched the pivot, rejected off, and it pushed up for a PRB entry. So this is a PRB entry currently running in profit right now. There's no other entries that are currently running at the moment. That's pretty much it. So now we're just waiting. for another opportunity here to present itself. Looks like price might be pushing up to the news price from 4 o'clock. So that peak line right there is going to be the news price from 4 o'clock. Yeah. Brock said PRB is the PNL savior today. Yeah, if anybody caught the PRB, it went straight up to full TP right there. So if anybody caught it, nice work. If I didn't catch it myself, so it's not counting as an official trade. It's just one of the trades that we identify. I've kind of stayed away from breakout entries lately because they just don't fit my trading style. For me, I like to be very conservative and careful with my entries. So breakouts don't typically sit well with me personally. They work well. I mean, they still work, but for me personally, I just don't like to take breakouts as much because you kind of have to take them even though they're touching red flags. The news price is 39,035, Rashida. So it's touching it right there. Price is currently rejecting off the news price. Let's see if we get a rejection or a correction back down. Or retracement, actually. So what I'd like to see here is I'd like to see some sort of retracement. So I'd like to see price maybe come down from here. And then maybe correct back up. There was a couple MPS entries over here that came up. There's like one right here, I believe. Yeah. So there's an MPS entry that came up over here. Obviously, I wouldn't have taken it. That was pre-market. So I'm looking for price to retrace back down. If it retraces, yeah, it was too low right there too, Dan. Like Daniel said, I think ATR was like at 10 at that time. So there's just no MPS that we could have taken at that point. Nick said, is that the news channel you just referenced at 4 a.m.? Yeah, that was the only news event from today, Nick. So that's the only news event that we have on here. Is that the wrong number? Oh, my bad. Sorry, guys. I put on the 539 candle. It was actually down here. Thanks, Nick, for confirming that. So the news price is right here. I mean, price is still around that area. So it's still rejecting off the news price. Rashida, the price was 39,020. So a few points lower. Thanks, Nick, for checking on that. I put it on the prior candle, not the 4 o'clock one. But it's still around that area. You can see price is still rejecting off the news price here. I actually prefer it to be lower anyways, because I want all the red flags to be in one area. So they're a bit lower right here. You can see how price is kind of rejecting off the news price right here down below. The whole reason we mark it up. The news price isn't always going to be super necessary, but it does help. So we got structure up here. This is the range now, guys. We have the range established now. This is the whole range. We've been seeing this for the past couple of weeks. Pretty much every day this has been happening. We get the big push on open, and then the market just kind of flatlines a bit and starts ranging within this big range right here, which is completely fine. You know, it's fine. We can still trade within the range. It's not a big deal. It's just we got to watch out for these red flags. The red flags are typically going to be the things that we want to look out for and be careful for. Because it's just, you know, the market's all over the place. All right, so we have a sell signal here that's currently pending. This is perfectly fine. This is actually what we want. I want a sell signal to come up to confirm retracement. And then once we can confirm retracement with that sell signal, I'm going to look for a buy signal to confirm continuation. So I want price to retrace, provide a sell signal, and then I want to swing back up with a buy signal to confirm that continuation to the upside. Once we have that, we can start looking for some breakout V3 continuations. We can look for some MPSs. We can look for some CV entries. We can look for a lot of things. It's just right now we can't because there's just nothing with us. There's nothing for us to work with here. This price is currently in between all of these red flags. Like you definitely don't want to trade around this area down here, and you don't want to trade around this pink area up here. So I'm hoping that this closes with the sell signal. It doesn't keep disappearing because the sell signal is going to confirm the retracement. Once we have the retracement, we'll be in a better place because we can start looking for possible opportunities for entry, of course. And guys, I'll go over this a little later, but the course was I completely updated the course. So if you guys haven't seen it, I'll show you guys a little later. And it's super organized now, so you guys can see where a lot of things are at. All right, let's see. Daniel said high level momentum with divergence right into these sessions. Exactly, right? So there's a higher high right here. This sell signal broke and closed past pivots 1 and 2. That was a high level momentum scalp, but it went straight into all of the sessions right here. It did hit TP, but it literally went straight into these sessions right here. So a little tricky entry. Like you'd have to like really know what you're doing to enter that trade there, unless you just kind of YOLO'd it. But it played out perfect. Went straight to full TP right there. If anybody caught it. If you guys remember from our data from last year, May 2023, this is one of the main strategies we were applying during this time. And it pretty much hit. I think May was a 100% win rate month last year. Right. Yeah, right here, May 2023. We took a lot of high level momentum scalps and liquidity pushes. They all hit TP. So it's 100% win-loss ratio, 17 wins and 0 losses. So if you want to take those trades, guys, you guys are more than welcome. For me personally, just like I said earlier, I pay a lot of attention to these red flags, so I don't take any trades around those areas. But if you look back at the data, that's pretty much the main strategy that we were applying back then. All right, so we will continue to look for a correction to the upside. The trend's still bullish, so I'm looking for a buy signal to come up over here. If we get a buy signal, I'll be looking for a possible opportunity for entry. There can be a high-low scalping can come up, triple confluence, breakout V3 continuation, pivot scalp, momentum scalp, etc. There's a lot of entries that can come up here. I was looking for a possible CV entry, but this candle here was smaller than this one, so there's no CV entry right there. Yeah, we're just waiting for the buy signal here. The buy signal will come up eventually. I think if it climbs back up to this news price over here, the buy signal will come back up. And then once it comes up, you can look for entries there. Breakout V3 continuations, MPS, etc. The ETR is pretty decent right now too. It's currently at 15.4. So the market is moving. It's just a little slow, but it is moving. And I'm kind of glad that we have this range here established so that you guys can understand where price is likely to go. You know, price is likely to push up and down within this range here. All right, we got that pending buy signal right there. Not closed yet. And we got the Asia high above right here. Thanks, Nick. Let's see. Drew said next area of liquidity is equal highs on the 30-minute time frame. Gotcha. Okay. Got it. So we'll see which of the sessions too. Yeah, they typically line up together. That's why I like marking up the sessions here because they typically line up with a lot of other structures that you guys are looking for. Most of the time they do. And that's why it's a big area of manipulation because it kind of lines up with a lot of these different levels. So no buy signal yet. Price is kind of still flapping back and forth right here. Yeah, there's just nothing really to work with right now at the moment. It's like the volatility here is starting to slow down a bit. It's back down to 14, but it's not necessarily super flat. It's pretty much bouncing between 14 and 15 here. All right, so pending buy signal right here. Or actually, no, I thought there was, but it just disappeared at the last second. I think the buy signal will probably come up on this next candle if it pushes back up further. Yep. So there goes a pending buy signal right there again. It's pushing up. So this will be a little tricky because if we do get the buy signal here, the next following candle could be a breakout B3 continuation. The only problem is that it's going to be right at the news price right here. I'm going to measure it to see how far the range is. You know, if the 10 points is pretty far out, then probably not going to mess with it. But we'll kind of see. I mean, we'll see what happens here. Because like I said before, guys, like for the red flags, news is probably going to be your least worry. You know, the sessions are going to be important. The opening price is going to be important. The news price, especially if it's a low impact news event and it's not really impacting the market too much, is going to be something that you can probably disregard. Unless it's like CPI news or NFP news or stuff like that, you know, inflation news, etc. That stuff you should definitely avoid. But if it's something like this morning, it's just mortgage rates, you know, you can kind of ignore it because there wasn't even a consensus. Like there was no prediction as to like what was going to happen based off that news event. So the buy signal did not close. Again, we're just going to wait. So we have price just sitting around here, around these sessions down here. This whole area is an area of manipulation. So if you look back, you can see whenever price gets near this area right here in the middle, this is where price gets manipulated. This is why you don't want to mess around in this area. As you can see how price kind of sits around this area and it breaks out in both directions for whipsaws, comes back up, fakes out, comes back down, fakes out again, and then now it consolidates. At this point right here, price is probably going to consolidate for a little bit. And then eventually it's going to break out, right? It's going to break out above or it's going to break out below. A lot of different scenarios here. You don't want to trade when there's too many scenarios here. You want to trade when there's like one or two. Not when there's like 3 or 4, maybe even 5 in the situation. Because in this situation, price can do a lot of things. It can either continue consolidating within this area. It can widen out to a bigger range. It can fake out from the bottom. It can fake out from the top. Or it can actually continue climbing up higher, right? Or continue climbing down lower. So there's like 5 scenarios right there that I just marked up for you guys. And you don't want to trade in a situation like that. You want to trade whether in a situation where you know price is probably going to go up or price is probably going to go down. Because at that point, you can be right or wrong, right? When there's too many scenarios, you can be partially right and get faked out, or you can be partially wrong and get faked out as well. Yeah, exactly. Daniel said it can do whatever it wants, just get out of the sessions. Exactly. So I don't care where it goes. It can go up, it can go down, but I just don't want to trade in this middle area right here. This middle area is an area of manipulation. Looking over here on our clean chart, you guys can see that price is still within the range. There's nothing really going on here. I drew this range for you guys here on market open, and price is pretty much just sitting in between this area, just like we discussed. So, all right, other than that, there's not really much else here. There's another level of liquidity up here, levels of liquidity down below here. So like I said, it doesn't matter where price goes because if price goes in either direction, it's going to push up to this level of liquidity or it's going to push down to this level of liquidity. Nothing crazy. All right, so still nothing going on here, guys. We're getting closer to news. It's currently 6:50 right now. We got news at 7 o'clock. So around 6:55, we're not going to be looking for anything. I mean, it's not going to make a difference because we're not really looking for anything here right now. As you guys can see, it's pretty much flat. And the news at 7 o'clock is low impact anyway, so it might not even affect the market too much. Yeah, there's not too much going on here. Let's check CNBC real quick. Any updates? So the weird thing with CNBC is that they didn't even report like the market today at all. Usually it'll say it's like down, certain amount of points or it's up certain amount of points. It hasn't reported anything today, which just proves that we're kind of in a dead market right now. So this reported over here at 9:36. The stocks fall Wednesday, led by tech decline, and you can see when that was reported over here at 6:36, it kind of just shot up, did the opposite. Not a lot, but it did push up. But yeah, surprisingly, CNBC hasn't reported anything today. There's only something over here that was breaking news. The only breaking news for today says Georgia Appeals Court will hear Trump bid to disqualify DA Fani Willis in election case. And that's pretty much it. And there's not even any news on that. Otherwise, there's otherwise there's just nothing here. So, all right, we'll just hope that there's we'll just hope that the news here will cause some volatility, because we just need to get out of this area right here. Once we get out of this area, we can start looking for buys, right? Price climbs out of this area right here, great. We'll look for some buys. Price climbs down, that's fine too. We'll wait for the trend to shift. Once the trend shifts, we'll start looking for some sells. The ATR right now is currently at 13, so it is dying down a little bit. It's not dying down too much, but it is dying down a little bit. It was currently at 15 earlier, went down to 14, now 13. We typically want it to be around 15. If the ATR is at 15, that's going to show that the market's moving somewhat directional and that there's some volatility in the market. When it goes below 15 and it goes closer to like 10, 12, 13, like right here it's at 13, this shows you that market is just consolidating. And it's pretty obvious here. Like I could just look at the ATR, and if it was this low, I'll just tell you the price is probably consolidating. And you can see over here that that's exactly what's happening. Price is consolidating. It's been consolidating for the last 10, 15 minutes. So we're just waiting for the ATR over here to pick up. ATR is like one of the best indicators to identify volatility in the market. Not a lot of people know how to use it, and not a lot of people actually use it. I feel like people just don't use it enough, because the ATR is different from asset to asset. We've been using the ATR for a while here for YM. I've been using it since I started trading. So I already had an idea of like how to use it. And I know I know when the market is going sideways, and I know when the market's going directional, because we know the key numbers to follow with regard to the ATR. But again, price is just consolidating sideways. It's probably going to range a little bit, but we are getting close to news over here. The buy signal again did not close, and price continues to consolidate between news price and the sessions down here. Another pending buy signal here. Again, I don't know if this will actually close, but we'll see. We got about 25 seconds left on this candle here. Daniel said possible high-low scalp with divergence. Looks weak though. Yeah, possibly. Breaks past here. Yeah, it does look weak though. Typically, I like going over the higher highs, but this could be a possible triple confluence actually. The only thing is that it's going to be, at news price. Like this would have to be a pretty strong green candle. Like it'd have to close like way up here for me to be even convinced to take this trade here, because it's just the volatility is too low. We got news over here at 7 o'clock. The last thing you want to do is take a trade and then it just goes sideways for the next 5 minutes, and then it spikes, right? Either to your TP or to your stop loss. That's like definitely what you don't want to be stuck in. All right, guys, so it's 6:55 right now. We're probably going to sit tight, just wait until 7 o'clock for the news to pass. We'll see how price reacts to the news. Hopefully price does react to the news so that we have some volatility here. And then from there, we'll start looking for at least 1 or 2 opportunities for today. This has been the theme for this week. If you guys have been trading with me since Monday, we had a market exactly like this on Monday. So there's no surprise that this is how the market's moving. If you guys ever trade with me, I always recommend that you guys don't miss Monday. Mondays are probably the most important days for you guys to trade, or not even trade, just to like analyze the market, because Monday will tell you what's going to happen for the rest of the week. On Monday, we have the same exact market, right? We have the same exact market where price kind of has volatile on open. It created a range, a higher high and a lower low. And then from there, price just sat in between. Same thing happened yesterday, and same thing's happening today. No difference. The only difference for this week might happen on Thursday, tomorrow. And the reason for that is because we have high impact news in the morning. We have jobless claims, 4-week average, initial jobless claims, continuing jobless claims. And that's pretty much it. We'll have this pre-market, you'll have some spikes in price, probably before we get on the live session. And then again, on Friday, we have Michigan consumer sentiment, which is like inflation news as well. So this whole week's been pretty much flat for the most part. And we already expected this because we already saw this happen on Monday. So since we have some downtime right here, guys, I'm just going to show you guys the new course that I put together. All right, so this is the new course. If you guys have been on the course or if you guys checked it out, so everything here is pretty much tailored to futures trading. We still have the old course down below. If you scroll down, it says legacy course for forex below, and you can see everything that we've had prior. So there's a ton of videos here for you guys to watch if you guys want to watch it. But if you guys want to get up to speed with like everything we're doing and everything we're using now, you go down from module 1, it shows you everything from Discord, Zoom, TradingView, NinjaTrader, Tradeovate, my personal futures broker, which I use, is ninjatrader.com. Apex, of course, if you guys need the link for Apex, it's there. Trade copy, multiple accounts. My link for the Replicano is there, where you can get the discount using the TradingView platform, NinjaTrader platform, Tradeovate platform. All of the indicators over here: momentum indicator, trend indicator, pivots, SRV2, high-low, sessions, SRV1, momentum pullback scalp, MPS, trailing stop, and the momentum divergence indicator. Also down here, we have the strategy types. I think this is where it's going to be very useful for you guys, because I'll be explaining, directional strategies, sideways strategies, breakout strategies. And then from there, you guys will see down here, it's every strategy that I typically use. So all the directional strategies are going to be broken down right here. MPS, breakout V3 continuation, momentum divergence, V1 variation, pivot scalp, high-low scalp, triple confluence. You've seen all of these applied during the live sessions. And for the sideways strategies like this type of market, this is what a lot of people are mentioning, right? The high-low momentum scalp, consolidation variation, high-low scalp V2, and then also the breakout strategies as well. Breakout V2, breakout V3, PRV, contract sizes for YM. This is going to be important for a lot of you guys because it shows, I provided the equation here. So if you guys don't know how to calculate, how much each contract is worth, I pretty much put it right here so you guys can literally do it yourself. Other than that, main issues with traders, you guys already know this for the most part: revenge trading, over leveraging, no trading plan, focusing too much on other traders, etc. All of our live sessions. So every live session for the past 6 years, every mentoring session, every daily team profits. And then lastly, how to trade like a business. That's not done yet, but it's available for you guys to go and check if you guys would like to. All right, other than that, we got news coming up in about a minute. See what happens over here. Daniel said no trades for him today. Got tea time. Have a good day, everyone. Definitely. Have fun, Daniel. I'm going to golf on Saturday. I haven't golfed in a long time. I got to go to the range this week. That reminds me. Analysis paralysis, that's too, yeah, Drew. Exactly. Well, analysis paralysis will always get people. All right, so we got news over here coming up in a few, guys. This was a high-low scalp deck. Actually, there's no high-low scalp there because there's no buy signal. So here's the news candle right here. We'll see how price reacts to it. There's actually no high-low scalp here because no buy signal came up. This is the news candle right here. It's not really reacting too much. Let's check the news. So the news was pretty much neutral for the most part. We got these two other news events over here that are still loading. This could be a breakout V3, but this is the news candle, guys, so I'm not going to take it. If you guys want to take it, feel free, but this is a breakout V3 continuation. This is actually a high-low scalp as well. Yeah, I'm not going to take it. This is the actual news candle, 7 o'clock. So I wouldn't mess with it because market is likely to react to the news. This candle might be a reaction to the news that hasn't even been released yet. So this right here is the breakout V3 continuation for anybody who's looking to take it. Again, I would take it. It's right at the news. It's like on the news candle. News here still hasn't been released. Still looking for this over here. Inflation rate year over year, inflation rate month over month. Nothing's come up yet. So personally, I'd like to see, what it's looking like before I even think to take anything there. So price didn't actually break and close past it. It's currently at the upper level of resistance right here. This could be it could easily be a fake out. So there's like a double top right here off this resistance level. Looks like price is pulling back down. So the thing that I noticed over here is that we had the buy signal and the divergence actually never even crossed up yet. Typically, when you get a buy signal, the divergence does cross up. I think it's because of the news candle over here. And it kind of just shut it back down. So there's not really too much going on here. I mean, price is still at the range, as you guys can tell. It's ranging back and forth. There's a double top right here on the resistance. So what I look for here is a possible correction back up. That's something that would maybe look for here. A correction back up, and I'd also look for the divergence. So pay attention to the divergence down here, guys. It'll probably happen with the high-low scalp. I just don't want price to be sitting over here at the news price. So if this breaks and closes past the higher high, we'll probably get a high-low scalp, and we'll probably get a divergence down here as well. Possibly. Nick said, yeah, might even be able to get into a late entry for the BB3. Yeah, I mean, possibly if you want to do that, can. Technically, it's still running. So yeah, I mean, I'll take a look at that too, Nick. I'll be looking over here at the divergence. If the divergence shifts back up, then I would be inclined to take, a late entry for that BB3C. Because it can play it through. I mean, ATR is just really low though. So that's kind of the thing that I'm worried about, right? Because you don't want to be caught in consolidation here. Because the ATR is currently at 13, but I'm going to be looking over here at the divergence. If the divergence shifts over, I think it'd be a decent sign to maybe get in for a late entry off the BB3C. Because we still haven't had the divergence yet. The buy signal came up here and the divergence actually never even happened. So if it swings up, it's probably going to swing up pretty hard. But right now, the divergence is still bearish. See, this is exactly why you don't want to trade during, a sideways market or when the ATR is too low. Because when the ATR is too low, you just end up getting in a sideways market like this where price just goes back and forth. And then you're kind of stuck here praying that price will go in your direction. But you don't really have control because price can really go in either direction. If the ATR is high, you're going to see some strong climbs up, right? It's going to just go straight up or it's going to go straight down. And then same with the other situation. But this right here, the ATR is just too low. It's currently at 12, 13. I was hoping it'd pick up a little bit based off the news, but it's not really looking like it here. It's back up to 13, but it's still very low. Divergence here still hasn't shifted up. So this thing here might go sideways for a while. But it looks like the divergence here is trying to shift back up. It's not having any luck right now, but it is trying to shift back up. You can see the green divergence here is attempting to cross up from where it's currently at. Yeah, exactly. Nick said it's squeezing a bit. I agree. So I'm not in this position, guys. Again, just a reminder for you guys to see, not in this position. The reason why I didn't take it because this breakout V3C came up right on the news candle at 7 o'clock. So I'm just going to take it off right now so that you guys don't think I'm in the position. We were just talking about maybe entering it late if price did swing back up. The divergence here never swung back up though. So I'm not really looking at it to take right now. Possibly in the future, but right now I'm definitely not looking at it to take. because it's just not, it doesn't align with what I'm looking for. So not much has happened here. Price is still within the range. Let's go back to our clean chart. You can see nothing's really gone anywhere. Price is still ranging within the range here. Yeah, there's no new zones to mark up. The only entry that came up today was the PRB over here that hit full TP. Other than that, there's no other entries here. There's no breakout V3s that came up. There was a continuation there, but still running. But there's no actual entries here. Let's see. Sadie said high level momentum, wrong direction. You could actually take the high level momentum in either direction, Sadie, because there's no trend for it. It's a sideways strategy, so you can actually take it in both directions. So you can see it, if you see it up there, you can take it down, and if you see it down on the bottom, you can take it up as well. Yeah, those sideways strategies you can apply them in either direction. It just kind of depends on like what you're looking for. For me personally, of course, I'd like to go in the direction of the trend, but for the people who typically apply the high level momentum scalp, they take it in both directions. I just feel safer. If you're trading the direction of the trend and you get an entry like that, odds of it pushing up higher are very likely. If you're trading against the trend, you might have enough push to get to your TP, but only when the volatility is high enough, right? The volatility here is kind of low, so it like barely taps your TP, and you got to make sure you get out of it. If the ATR was like 20 ATR, then okay, great. It's gonna keep going back and forth like super heavy, go up, go down, etc. And you can like pretty much get out of your position super quickly. Thanks Rashida for the double body right there. There was a double body that was pending right here, or it was active, and then the lower low got pushed, or the low got pushed down even further. I was looking at a possible CV entry right here. Yeah, so there's a low here with a red candle. This could be a possible CV, maybe not. If this candle closes smaller, it looks like it's about the same size here, so it might not be a CV entry. But if it does close smaller, odds of this probably pushing up back up are likely. I'll look at the CV as a reversal pattern as well. The CV falls within the variation strategies. It's in the variation family. So this right here could be a possible reversal pattern as well. There's a reversal pattern right here for a V1. And this over here could be a reversal pattern for the CV. I mean, I'm not going to take it, but because it's too close to news right there. So I don't really want to mess with it, but this is a CV entry. It's a reversal pattern. So you can see there's a red candle right here. The following candle next to it is like a opposite of engulfing. And you can see right here, it is pushing up. So this is a CV entry if anybody was looking to take it. The only thing that I personally don't want, well, obviously you can tell it's pretty obvious, red flag, right? News. That's the only thing that would probably be holding me back from taking a specific entry. And then on top of that, the ATR is super low. There's just a lot of things here that don't fall in line with like what I'm looking for. ATR is super low. Like again, if the ATR was high enough, say if the ATR was 15 or 20, then I would have expected this to just spike right through. Like it would just go straight to TP. But again, like I said earlier, the ATR is going to be really key with identifying. But the divergence here is shifting up, so we might even get a buy signal to come up here. There you go. The buy signal is pending right there. And you can see where price is rejecting off. You see the wick right there, it's rejecting off the news price. It's typically why I try to avoid. You got into it, Nick? Nice, yeah. So Nick said, good one, he got it. Solid. I would have been okay with taking this if we didn't have news right here. There you go, full TP right there. Yeah, if we didn't have news right there, I would have been okay with taking it. But because of the news candle right there, I just didn't really feel super comfortable with it. But there goes an example of a CV entry. So we got a pending buy signal here, like we just talked about earlier. Be setting up for a possible breakout V3 continuation if that buy signal does close. Again, the ATR is too low. So we're not really getting much push behind this movement. Again, here we are back at our clean chart. You can see there's nothing going on here. Price is still sitting within the range. So nothing really exciting here, nothing here to really work with. It's typical movement for this week. Something else here that I'm missing. Nope, nothing. All right, so we are waiting again, mainly for a buy signal to come up here. So you guys can see, like, if you just look at the ATR, it's currently at 12. I just seeing that number there, I'm like, okay, there's nothing going on. If this picks up to like 14, then okay, I'll take an eye off the chart. I'll take an eye on the chart, but right now there's nothing going on. You can just assume whenever the ATR is below 14, or if it's like, I'd say between 10 and 12. If the ATR is ever between 10 and 12 or below that, I wouldn't even bother looking at the chart because there's no movement. Now it's down to 11. It's another V1 pattern right here coming up, possibly if this candle closes green. Not a CV, but a V1 pattern. So again, right here, a possible V1 variation. This is a reversal pattern. So if you took, there was two opportunities here. There was a V1 variation right here that came up. If you got into that late, I mean, you eventually would have hit your TP. And then again, right there with the CV entry as well. And just another confluence. Now looking back at this, I'm like, that CV entry is actually pretty good because you had a double confluence at that point. You had the V1 that was still running in profit, and then you had the CV over here that came up a little later, and it just kind of ran in confluence with each other. There's another V1 pattern right here, double body rejection. And this could possibly be setting up for another breakout V3 or something like that. So there's a V1 variation running right there. The only problem here is that the ATR is super low again. It's down to 11. Oh. Yes, he said low ATR. Yeah. So it's a good thing that we use ATR because we know to stay out of the market, right? I feel like years back when we didn't really use the ATR as much. Well, I use the ATR, but I didn't really introduce it to you guys until kind of recently. I just thought it wasn't a tool that was necessary, but now that we've kind of used it a lot more, it's super necessary. I think the ATR is good at helping us avoid entries, at least helping us avoid bad entries. Because for a lot of you guys who traded with me in the past, like, a couple of summers ago, we used to get caught in positions where price was just going sideways for a very long time. And then we would kind of just hope that price would hit our TP. Most of the time it would hit our TP, but we were kind of in limbo. I mean, sometimes we enter a trade and it gets close to the end of our trading session and we're still stuck holding it. We'd be holding it for like hours and hours and hours. Now we just look at the ATR and we're like, okay, we should just not take the trade because we're going to be holding that trade for hours and hours and hours. So we don't have to worry about it. It's pretty much a game changer for a lot of us here, especially for those of you who want to be on a set schedule. Like for me, I'm on a set trading schedule. Every day I'm trading at the same time. I typically don't hold trades past that time period. And I'm usually in and out when I need to be. All right, so we got price pushing back up right here. Yeah, Nick said, yeah, that's what he was thinking, with the divergence falling behind it as well. Felt like it was a no-brainer. Yeah, Nick said this movement is wild for 7:15 on a Wednesday in May. Yeah, Wednesday is typically the day where the market kind of picks up a little bit. If it's slow Monday, Tuesday, it usually picks up on Wednesday. That was the case last year, and that was the case the year before that. Um, this year, though, it's a little different. I mean, the market's been kind of slow all morning session. It usually doesn't pick up until a little later, like past lunch or around lunchtime, which, yeah, I think it's wild. For me personally, I think it's wild because this is supposed to be prime time for people to be trading. And it definitely does not feel like prime time here. All right, so we have a buy signal here that's currently pending. The divergence is shifting up. So I'll see if we can get a possible breakout V3 continuation over here or something like that. And this could be a possible triple confluence right there too. ATR is kind of low though. So this right here is a triple confluence that's currently running. I'll look to see if this closes green. If this closes green right here, this could be a breakout V3 continuation. The only problem, again, that we just keep talking about is low ATR. So, even if the entry comes up, it might just go sideways for a really, really long time. So what I would look for here, for me personally, is I would maybe look for a late entry. Because if this retraces back a little bit, like it just pulls back a little bit and then it comes back up, we'll have a divergence here that will be shifting. Otherwise, I'll look for a breakout V3 here. It's not looking like it's going to close green. So I don't think there's going to be a breakout V3 continuation here or a breakout V3 at all. Yeah, so it's not closing green. Okay, so I'm not in this position right here, guys. Just a heads up, I'm not in this position right here. What I'm going to be looking for is I'm looking for price to pull back a little bit, and I'm going to look for possible divergence right here. So I'm looking for price to retrace down, like to go into drawdown. I'm going to look for the divergence here to shift below. And then when it shifts back up, I'll be looking for a late entry for this. I guess we call it a triple confluence. It's at news price though, so it's just it's just in a messy area. But yeah, like I said, I would be looking for this here to maybe pull down a little bit, but maybe to draw down slightly, look for the correction back up, and then get into it there. I'm not going to enter right here though. I'm going to wait for the pullback. I mean, if you want to enter right here, you guys can. It's still an entry. It's at a red flag. So it's at news price right here. And then the ATR is extremely low. So it's probably just going to go sideways for a bit. And the divergence over here is kind of shifting down. So I would personally look for it to pull back a little bit, like kind of what happened over here, right? It's the same situation. Price pulled back and the divergence here switched back up and then it flew through. I'm looking for the same situation. In a market like this, you have to be very cautious because you don't want to get in too early. You also don't want to get in too late, or you just don't want to get in at all because the volatility is so low. Like typically these strategies that we apply, we trade based off momentum. There's no momentum here because there's no volatility. We have the momentum indicators, but we don't have, the actual volatility behind it to push price through where it needs to go. Yeah, CJ said kind of feels like we're trading during Asia session. Yeah, exactly. The night session right now, right? Super slow. This is like a typical ATR or like ATRs like this or even lower during Asia session. Okay, perfect. So the divergence over here shifted a little bit, guys, as you guys can see. So what I'm going to be looking for here is I'm going to be looking for the divergence back up. Once we get the divergence back up right here, I'll be looking to take my entry. I'm not in any positions right now. I just said what I was going to do right there. So if price swings back up with the divergence, I'll get in for a later entry, but I'm not in any positions right here right now. The ATR is too low. Volatility is not there. There's technically an entry that filled right here, but it's not one that I would have taken because it's at the red flags. We have a news price over here. So the divergence never happened down below. It's pushing up right here. We might just have another missed opportunity. that becomes the case. So I'm not in any trades right now, guys. I was hoping it'd pull back, but it didn't pull back far enough. Looks like there might be another high-low scalp right here, though. Past this this higher high. Nice. So Nick actually caught that entry right there as well. All right, so this one over here hit CP, guys, if anybody took that. This was the triple confluence that came up on that setup right there. I was looking for the divergence, but the divergence never came back down. Yeah, Sadie said Ella did not take. I didn't take it either. All right, so there's no other high-low scalp over here, at least not yet. I'm going to look for that divergence. So I'm going to keep looking for the divergence here. I'm going to look for it to maybe swing back down. Look for that divergence here to shift over. And then I'll look for it to correct back up. Because I'll take the divergence. I'm not looking for the... Well, obviously, there's no late entry here anymore. But I would prefer it to come down a little bit. Maybe retest the pivots and then shift back up. So we got the divergence there. We just need some red candles. If we get some red candles here to confirm the retracement, then we'll get the divergence. And then once we have that, I'll be looking for the possibility of correction back up. 722 right now. Yeah, Nick said watch out for the Asia high, which is up here. So it's going to get a little tight. So the retracement down would be pretty decent. Right now, you can see price is currently at the resistance right now. It's currently touched it about 3 times now. All right, so the divergence here did shift below slightly. Yeah, it's currently below right now. So I'll be looking for this here. If this candle here closes as a strong green candle past this, the only problem again is going to be at the sessions right there. So I'll be looking for this here to close above. This will be a high-low scalp. I'll be looking to possibly take this here. Price will probably push up to the sessions. So this candle is going to close in about 10 seconds. I need it to close around this area, though. It can't close too high. Candle's closing at 3, 2, 1.
Order filled.
All right, minimum position right there. Pushing up to profit. Let's see. It's getting close to that session zone.
Submitted.
Set alert right there. So we got really close to it right there, and then it kind of just spiked down because of the it's pretty close to the sessions though. And the volatility is again dead. Now I just gotta wait for it. I was hoping it was gonna just shoot right through, but the volatility here just kind of flattened out again. ATR is currently at 11, so it's still very low. Now we just gotta wait. We got news in about 6 minutes. So I'm gonna watch it over here. The news is medium impact. It's medium impact gas stock change. So I'm just hoping it pushes up before then. But I'll be watching it. Let's see, the TP's at 53. TP's lined up. I think it's going to push up to the sessions. That's what it's looking like. Almost there.
Order
They're at
filled.
the mount, full TP, guys.
Order
TP
filled.
right there. Locked in 1,000 per account. So I missed all these other entries, but I was looking, like I said, I was waiting for that perfect entry to come up, and it finally did. The divergence crossed right there. It lined up with the high-low scalp right here off this higher high, and went straight to full TP. So nice work, guys, catching that with me there. So like I said, if you guys are patient, you just wait for these entries to come. The entry's going to come to you. It's been doing this pretty much every day this week. You just gotta wait, and once you wait, the entry's going to come over straight to full TP. So I'm done with that entry right there. I'm gonna put my profits over here real quick. Smooth the win for us right there. So even though I missed like I missed like a bunch of the other entries, this here still played through, and we got what we came for. So yeah, there was like 1, 2, 3. There's 4 entries that came up. I missed these 3 because obviously there's things here that I didn't want to trade in around news. This over here was actually the cleanest entry of them all because there was no news nearby. The divergence crossed. The ETR was a little low, so that was something to maybe look out for. But other than that, everything here pretty much, played out exactly for what we look for. Because this here met our criteria. If I was trading down here, this would have, I was trading at red flags. This is me going against my trading plan. But this over here, this actually was perfect. There was no red flags. Everything kind of lined up. Price wasn't consolidating. It broke past structure, and it went perfectly nice. Yeah, exactly. Sadie said, yeah, but I think you missed for the right reasons. Yeah, exactly. We were following the trading plan, and the trading plan played out perfect right here on this actual like official entry that we were looking for. These over here are iffy because you're still trading at red flags, and you shouldn't be trading at red flags, but it met criteria there. Nick said solid, was terrifying close to the sessions, but other than that, solid trade. Exactly, definitely. Let's see. CJ said, I'm glad we didn't wait until after 8 for an official entry. I know, right? Today was, it's been like this pretty much all week, but it's all good. We're making the best of the market. We're still finding our edge here, even though the market's kind of whack. So it's beneficial for all of us here. So there goes my profits. I'm going to take a screenshot of them here. Send them into my Discord real quick. All right, guys. So if you guys have profits to post up, feel free to send them in. I'll keep looking for any other entries here. Obviously, I'm gonna look for something else if it comes up, but I'm not gonna force any entries here. Price is currently at the sessions right now. We got news in about 2 minutes. Yeah, Albert said, just wanted to share about Top Step with everyone. I got funded with them, 3 150K accounts, but they lower your contract size to 3, which sucks. Just wanted everyone to know before they spend their money. Yeah, no, that happened with me too when I first got funded with Top Step, Albert. I was like, what? Because, we're used to using like 15, like 10 to 15 contracts. And then when I first got funded with Top Step, I was like, they force you to start small. You have to scale in. It's super annoying, but they do that for a reason because they don't want you to blow your account right away. So they do have good intentions with that rule, but it does suck because you're used to trading bigger contract sizes, and they only allow you to trade for something like you got to go super small for like a while before they let you go full port on your account. So let's see. Other than that, see if there's anything else over here right now. So we got the news candle right here. Let me go and mark this up. The ATR is still super low, guys. I'm surprised it's this low. Honestly, it's like, so the fake out happened right there. You guys can see the fake out right here. Price pushed up, or it might not even fake out. This might be the new consolidation area. Yeah, so looking at this here on our clean chart, this looks like it could be, so price was ranging within this big range here. Broke above, now it's consolidating within this little range. I mean, it's a typical thing. This has been happening. This was on Monday too. Price was ranging for a while, broke out of it, created smaller ranges above and below. And it kind of just goes sideways from there. So we'll look for another opportunity here if it comes up. But again, we're not going to force any trades here. We're going to be looking for the trade to come to us. So we're still looking for buys here. Here's where it gets a little tricky because if you're looking for a high-low scalp at this point, it's going to be almost impossible because it's right at the sessions. So you're probably not going to get a high-low scalp there. You probably would have to look for a breakout B3 continuation or maybe an MPS. There's an MPS right here, it looks like. Yeah, actually, so the MPS right here, I mean, it looks like it just got filled right now, or it would have just gotten filled. So there's technically an MPS that could be running here if you wanted to take. I wouldn't take it because the market is reacting to the news right now. The news event at 7 o'clock or 7:30. So it's too close to news. As you guys know, we don't trade 5 minutes before news or 5 minutes after news. The news is right here at 7 o'clock. So you kind of want to wait for the market to react to the news event. The news event from today was over here at 7:30. You can see crude oil stock change, it was negative, and gasoline stock change at 9. So there's not really, I mean, so this is negative, this is positive. There's not really one direction. They're kind of both valid points. So I would just wait for the market here to stabilize after the news has been released or after the market has pretty much reacted to the news. There's news happening here at 7:30. You probably want to wait until about 7:35, which is like right here. See how price reacts if it comes down, if it goes up, and then from there look for the possible correction to whichever direction it pushed. So for example, here price came down, we might see a correction back to the upside. Turn this off. It's just a messy market. It's a messy market plus the ATR is super low. It's kind of annoying, but it's got to deal with it. All right, so let's take a look at the team profits for the day. So we got Andreas over here, total profit of 1,440 for the day, all wins here. We've got Natasha here, total profit of 519. Nice work, Natasha. We got Vimal here, 2 trades, full TPs, total profit of about 300 for the day. Nice work, Vimal. We got Jonathan here, total profit of 240 per account. He has 1, 2, 3, 4 accounts, so 2, 4, 6, 8. Well over 800 for the day. Nice work, Jonathan. We got Casey here, total profit of 335 for the day, all wins. And that's about it for the team profits. If you guys have more profits to post up, feel free to share them. Looking over here at my profits for the day, this is what I locked in. So I locked in at 320 on my personal account, locked in 1,000 on one of my Apex, and the rest of my Apex 800. So I'll do a total calculation of this at the end of the session, but I just wanted to show you guys what I locked in off that trade. There's always going to be slippage with the copiers. I was hoping there wasn't going to be as much slippage with Apex, but I mean, it's all good. It happens. There's always going to be slippage there. I didn't close this out manually. This here was pretty much where my entry was. I mean, it entered exactly where it needed to enter at. The entry and exit's right there, exact, Vimal. So the entry was at 39,043. The exit was at 39,53. That's why it pulled me out at the exact price. That's why my main account over here has 1,000, right? Because that's what I was supposed to lock in. I was supposed to lock in 1,000. This is my main account I trade off. That's why it's always perfect. This one exits where it needs to, and then everything else is kind of off. Like my personal account over here, I'm supposed to lock in 400, but it gave me 320, which is fine. Some slippage there. And then here's my other Apex accounts. That's why these are slightly different. They're at 800. The funny thing with this, though, it's kind of weird that I've noticed is that it starts to balance out. So like they'll have slippage on certain accounts, but then they'll balance out by the weekly. So we'll see what happens at the end of the week. But I've noticed that where like some of them have different profits, but then at the end of the week, they all end up being exactly the same. I don't know if Apex does that on purpose or like what happens, but that's typically what I've noticed. I don't think they're doing it on purpose, though. They're not like any of these other prop firms that kind of farm out your trades. I mean, because they're regulated, of course, they can't be doing shady stuff like that. Let's see. Albert said, what contract size are you using for the 300K? Right now, I'm using a 20 size 20 contract size, Albert. I basically calculated it to where I have to lose 3 times back to back in order for me to blow the account. We've been on pretty decent win streak, so it doesn't really put me in any danger. So I just keep it at 20 right now. Eventually, I'm probably going to taper off, as we get closer and closer to the summer and the market gets a little more riskier. I'll probably taper off and go down to like, half that contract size. But right now, well, I mean, it goes against what I was going to say. So I was going to say right now, the market's actually moving. There's some volatility. Realistically, there's not much volatility, but there's enough, right? There's enough for us to trade here. I wasn't expecting these summer market conditions to happen so early, but yeah, I mean, if the market continues to move a little slow like this, I might just lower my contract size. But right now, I've calculated it to where I have to lose 3 trades back to back in order for me to violate, like the distance to drawdown. We haven't really had that, so we might have like one loss a month. So we have a bunch of wins, one loss. It sets me back a little bit. Then I have a bunch of wins, recoups it. So I can kind of take the bigger risk. I don't think I'll ever go past 20 though. I think 20 is kind of where even though I have like a higher cap, I probably won't go past 20. Unless I have like a huge foundation that's built up. But I don't think I'll do that. It just doesn't make sense to do that. I'd rather just make request payouts every month or every 2 weeks. And then if I ever have to do it again, then I'll do it again. All right, guys, so there's nothing going on here right now. And that's a question that I get from a lot of people. A lot of people ask if they should have like a nest egg in their funded accounts or the PA accounts. I think it's okay to have a small nest egg, but I don't think it's really necessary. As long as you factor in your risk, right? As long as you're factoring in your risk, you should never have any problem with getting to your trailing drawdown because you should understand like what your edge is in the market. Like for me, the edge is that we have a high win rate, so I'm able to recoup my trailing drawdown if it ever goes down. So just gotta keep that in mind, guys. Yeah. Sadie said high level momentums are raining. Yeah. So right here, another higher high, sell signal broken, close past pivots 1 and 2. And there was another high level momentum scalp right there. This strategy is good for a sideways market. So if you guys want to look into it, like I said, I've updated the course. If you guys want to rewatch that video, we're in a sideways market right now, right? Price is going sideways, it's going back and forth. So if you want to take a look at that, you go down to the sideways strategies and you can see what's good there. The high-low scalp V2 is okay, but it's kind of hard to trade when the volatility is low because I think it requires, a decent amount of ATR. So you might not be able to apply the high-low scalp V2. You could probably apply these two though, the high-low momentum scalp and the consolidation variation. There's more strategies that you can apply on the sideways strategy, but I think these are the best for futures specifically. If you want to go back and take a look at, say, the snipe strategy still works fine too. I didn't introduce it because it's complicated for the beginner trader. But if you guys want to look at it, you just got to scroll down and all of my old strategies are down here. So again, if you guys are new here and you guys want to have access to, the indicators and the strategies, I know some of you guys you guys got brought in by family or friends and stuff like that, because I don't really advertise this to the public anymore. This is mainly just for friends and family. If you guys want access to the indicators and strategies so that you guys can apply this on your own, just go to the website. It's kodikaitrades.com. Again, kodikaitrades.com. And then you can get access here. If you just want access to the Zoom, click on Live Trading Room. If you want access to the strategies and the indicators, click on strategies right here. And I pretty much make it available. I mean, this is completely free. If you guys want to look at the course, it's completely free. The only thing you'd have to pay for would be like the indicators because I'm like constantly working on them to make them better. So it's work on my end. And then on top of that, if you guys want to be able to Zoom to just copy the trades. Because I know like maybe like about half of the people in the room don't even know how to really analyze and stuff like that. They kind of just follow me. Half of you guys know what you're doing, half of you guys don't, which is completely fine. Like I said before, trading is not for everybody. It can be for everybody, but it's not. You have to be a certain type of person to really be good at trading because a lot of emotions run high when you guys are trading. You guys got to be able to, act cool and calm under certain circumstances. Like if you're in drawdown, right? I see a lot of people freak out when they go into drawdown. We have a possible breakout V3 continuation that's running right here, guys. I'm not going to take it because it's touching the the news candle right here. And then on top of that, the ATR is extremely low. It's currently at 9 ATR right now. So I'll mark it up for you guys, but I'm not going to take it for those specific reasons. It's also getting close to the sessions right here. Oh, I for sure am not going to take this trade. Yeah, it would have to cut through the session spread to hit TP. So there's just a lot of red flags here. There's a lot of reasons not to take this trade. I mean, it's probably going to hit, but there's a lot of reasons not to take the trade. ATR is too low. It has to touch the sessions, which it's touching right now. There's just so many things here that would cause me not to want to take the trade. And then on top of that, it is touching news price. So it hit full TP like we thought. But like I said, I'm a very conservative trader. I'm not going to take anything here that's going to possibly lose. And we have a pretty good win rate right now for May, so I'm not going to mess that up by taking some dumb trades here. So if there's any questions, guys, feel free to put them in the chat. If you guys have more profits to post up, feel free to send them in. We got some more profits here for Maddie. Maddie locked in a total profit of 284 per account. He has 2 accounts here, so well over 500 for the day. Nice work, Maddie. Oh yeah, and the question here from Vimal. So Vimal was asking this question in the team chat, if anybody saw it. He's basically asking, why I don't use Rhythmic. I don't use Rhythmic because it's not compatible. Well, it is compatible with NinjaTrader if you have one account, but if you have multiple Rhythmic accounts, that's another reason why I didn't trade with Top Step, because I'm using NinjaTrader. So you can only have one Rhythmic at a time, like Albert said here, he has 3 accounts. I wish I could do that, but you would need you need to trade separately, or you can be trading on something called Quant Tower, which is just, it's too much for me right now. At that point, it's too much. I'd rather focus on Apex and then focus on the hedge fund, because I'm going to be trading on NinjaTrader anyways. So I don't want to have too many moving pieces. And then also, like you guys can imagine, right? I got a lot of stuff going on in the morning. I got this live session I have to analyze for you guys. I have to break down everything, explain the strategy, mark everything up, take data, make sure my copier doesn't screw up, enter the trade, exit the trade, set alerts. There's like so many things I'm doing in the morning. So for me to add another task, to add another copy or another separate platform to me to trade on, it's just way too much. So that's the main reason why I don't trade with Rhythmic. Honestly, if there was an easier solution to it, I would, but I'm all set with NinjaTrader, so I'm not gonna try to get on a different platform. But I mean, it's fine, it works. I know some of you guys here use it. Like I think Kevin uses Quant Tower and he says it works perfectly fine. You don't really have to pay extra for it either. Or I think you might have to pay for a license, but other than that, you're good. So let's see if there's anything else here that I need to cover. I haven't updated our spreadsheet yet. So I'll update the spreadsheet. Damn, I haven't done May at all. So I was going to do it today, but there's going to be a lot of updates that I have to do here. I'll update this once I get off the live session, so we don't have to do it here all together. But I think we're currently on a win streak right now for May. Let's see. Yeah, so currently, right now we're currently on a 4-win streak or a 6-win streak. Yeah, so we're currently on a 6-win streak right now. We had 1 win from April 29th, and then I think we had another win on the 30th. And then we had 2 wins. Actually, let's count it over here. So we got 3 and 3. So we're about 6 wins right now. We got 6 back-to-back wins right now for May, which is pretty solid. Hopefully that goes back to like what we did last month. Last month we were on a 17-win streak. I think we had 1 loss or 2 losses, but for the most part we were on a 17-win streak. Hopefully we'll run that back again this month. I think the upper level got hit, guys. Thanks, CJ. So the upper level of liquidity right here got hit on the second touch. And it went straight to its TP, it looks like, already. All right, so other than that, let me go and just take a screenshot, or let me add up my profits real quick. Let's see, Vimal's asking how far are you? I'm at like 307. So it's a long way to go, Kamal. It's a long way to go. Like I said before, the 300K counts they're a beast, right? Because here, let me just show you real quick. So see every trade I take, the net profit that I'm making is like maybe 600 to 700, right? So I got to make 20,000. Let's just do the math real quick. 20,000 divided by, and we'll keep it. Let me see what I locked in yesterday. So I want to keep it as realistic as possible, right? So we'll just say like 700. So divided by 700. Oh, wait, sorry. 20,000 divided by 700. That's 28 back-to-back wins, Mamal. So do the math, right? That's a lot of wins that you got to do. And that's back-to-back. That's not with losses. So like we had a loss last month or 2 losses. So it sets you back quite a bit, right? It sets you back quite a bit. So you gotta have like just doing the math, you gotta get 20,000 a pass. I'm making 700 per trade. I need to have literally like 30 back-to-back wins for me to, so it's gonna take a while. That's why I was saying like if you guys want to do a new challenge, I wouldn't recommend the 300K because it's gonna take forever. Like if you want to do the okay, let's go over what's the 150 is probably it's the middle point. I think it's a good middle point because you got to make 9,000, right? You got to make 9,000 for that there. So I think you use a 10 contract size, 10 times 5 times 10, so that's 500. So if you wanted to do that and you would do let's see, 500. So you have to use 9,000 divided by 500. Yeah, 18 trades, 18 to 20 trades. So you guys see it's a big difference. You got to do like another 10 more trades for the 300K. I mean, the whole eval phase of it is like, it sucks, but once you get funded, you're pretty much solid. Funded on the 150s, but not the 300. That's why I'm trying to add the 300 so I can swap them out. But yeah, you guys know the 150s were easy to pass. Those are easy to get funded on because we had a pretty good win streak during that time. I mean, it's the same situation. Like last month, we had 17 back-to-back wins. If I was doing all 150Ks, like if I had to start over and do 150Ks, you would have been funded with 150Ks last month because we had a 17 win streak, right? So you would have had that with the 150Ks. But the 300Ks, it's crazy. It's like double. So yeah. So so here's the thing. If you guys want to get funded right away, do the 50K. The 50K is super easy. Like let's do the math real quick again for the 50. The 50K is like you only need 3,000. You think about it, it's 3,000. So let's see, the profit goal, or let's see, trailing drawdown is 2,500 divided by 3. It's 833. So you'd be let me just figure out what your contract size would be on a 50K account. Okay, on a 50K account, where's my thing at? So you can lose about 833 per trade. So you probably use a 6 contract, 6 times 5 times 10, you'd have 300 per trade, right? So you have to make 3,000. You only need 10 trades, yeah. So if you want to get funded right away, guys, and you just want to get funded and whatever it may be, because we're currently on like a 6 win streak right now. You just need 10 wins to pass. If you're doing a 50K count, you only need 10 back-to-back wins. So you guys can see the big difference between passing the eval between the 50K, the 150K, and the 300K. The 300K is like, it's a beast. So unless you're taking big trades, it's going to take you a long time to pass it. And they do that on purpose. You know, when we first talked about the 300K counts, those were considered sucker counts to us, right? We're like, oh, those are sucker counts. Like it's going to take forever to pass. And look at me now, I'm doing the 300Ks because I guess I just like the challenge. For me personally, I like something that seems impossible to do, especially like when we're scalping, because the scalping happens. I mean, it's just my trading style. But you know, at the end of it, like, I'm basically doing it to show you guys that it's possible, and it's also gonna be beneficial for me because when I start the hedge fund, all of it's just gonna be free money for me basically. I'd be trading Apex and I'm trading like 20 or 50 other accounts for other people. So it's gonna basically multiply. Like right now I have like 21 accounts. Probably by the end of the year, I'll probably have like 50 accounts, maybe 100 accounts. So let's add up my profits for the day and I'll show you guys the scale because the scale of opening my hedge fund is going to be crazy. So here are my profits for the day. I locked in 800 times 19 plus 1,000 plus 320. So this is how much I locked in right here, right? I locked in 16,520 for the day. For the week so far, I'm currently 1,514 times 18 plus 1414 plus 1914 plus 567. So I'm up currently 16. And I'll put this over here real quick. And I'll show you guys a scale after that. So plus 16,520 for the day plus 31,147 for the week. That's currently where I'm at right now. And like I said earlier, so when I start the hedge fund, I'll probably be trading like, 50 more accounts. Well, I'll probably be doing like 50 total. So for example, I locked in about 800 per account. We're just going to be modest. I'm not going to say the full 1,000 because obviously there's going to be slippage. So we'll say like 800 per account times 50. I can make like 40,000 in one day, right? Once I start the hedge fund, that's like 50 accounts. And if I go even higher and I have like 100 accounts, times 100, I can make like 80,000 a day. So you guys can see the Apex is, I'm using the Apex as just like a vehicle to like get free money basically. Because I'm already trading my personal account. This is my personal account, so I'm making money off my personal account, and then I'm making money off Apex. And then when I start the hedge fund, I'm going to be trading for other people too. So I'll be making Apex is just it's just extra money for me basically. A lot of people, this is like their main thing, but for me, this is going to be pretty much extra money for me because I'll be making even more through like trading other people's accounts, and then on top of that, I'll have Apex profit as well. So. That's the longer scheme of things. I'm here for the long run. And that's kind of how I plan on taking it. So Apex is cool, and I don't mind free money, but it's not my end goal. End goal is really the hedge fund. It's getting the hedge fund big and then trading for like hundreds, if not thousands of people, and then not having to worry about trailing drawdown or any of that stuff. Let's see, Ross is asking, how do you get Ninja to copy Apex in a personal account? The same way that you copy any other account, Ross. You would just add your personal account to your connections, but you would have to have your own license with NinjaTrader. So I paid for my own NinjaTrader license. I paid like a little over 1,000, I think, for it, for a lifetime license with NinjaTrader. Because Apex won't let you use their license. So you have to pay for your own license with NinjaTrader. Open your own personal account, and then you just copy it the same way you normally would with Replicano. And that's pretty much how I do it. That's why, like, if you guys look at my profits here, my top one is always going to be my personal. So whatever you see up here is going to be my personal account. That's how much I'm making. So if you like scroll back over here and you look back at all my accounts, my personal account is always on top. I make about 300. And then for my Apex, of course. So the volatility is actually picking up, guys, but it's getting closer to 8 o'clock. So there's just nothing for us to take here. There was an MPS that came up over here. Thanks to Nick for mentioning that. So price pushed up over here. Then pull back to here, push back up. And then the MPS happened like right here. I don't know if let's see, how far did I push up? Actually, it's fine. That was a good MPS. It looked like it pushed up a lot, but it really wasn't much because the ATR is still super low. The other thing here is that the MPS, you would have to have a 15 ATR, right? So that's another reason why I wouldn't take it, but it was an MPS nonetheless. It's just a little too low. Yeah, exactly. Sadie said, this is where we wanted the market earlier. Yeah, this is literally where we wanted the market to be. It's currently now in the 4-hour zone though. So it's currently in the 4-hour and 1-hour resistance. So it's now actually where we don't want it to be. because you can easily just bounce off this area. But this is where we typically would have wanted to go earlier this morning. This would have been nicer if it was around this area, because we could trade within this middle area right here. But it's all good. You know, we'll take what we can get from the market, especially when there's not much that we can work with. Like this whole middle area over here is not a good area to trade in. This area is okay, but it is getting closer to 8 o'clock. Typically, my cutoff is like 7:40, so I wouldn't really be looking to take anything here anyways. But yeah, guys, if there's any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. If you guys have more profits to share, looks like we got a couple more here. So we got Cam over here, total profit of 622 per account. He has 2 accounts here, so well over 1,200 for the day. All wins. Nice work, Cam. And we got Madhu over here, total profit of 200 for the day. Nice work, Madhu. Yeah, you guys did pretty good. So nice work, guys. But all right, guys, it's getting closer to 8 o'clock. You know, as 8 o'clock approaches, you guys know the volatility tends to die down. So if you guys want to trade, I'd probably wait until like 9 o'clock. Wait until a little later. Wait until like 9, 10, once people come back from lunch on the New York session or the East Coast, and the volatility should pick back up. From what I've seen is the market starts to pick up a little later anyways. So the earlier markets are kind of slow, and then it picks back up later on the second half of the session. So if you guys want to keep trading, you know, that'd be your prime time to trade, you know, close to power hour. Otherwise, I would just sit out. I'm done for the day, so I'm not going to take anything else. Happy with my profits. 16,520 for the day and 31,147 for the week, right? Your main goal here is not to go hunt trades down. Your main goal is to avoid losses, because if you can just do this consistently every single day, you're going to end the week in green. And if you can do this consistently for the end of the month, you're going to end the month in green. And if you can do this every month for the rest of the year, you're going to end the year in green as well. So that's your goal, guys. End the day in green, end the week in green, end the month in green, and then ultimately end the year in positive profits. And that's the name of the game, guys. That's how you stick in this game, and it's how you don't fizzle out. But other than that, I'll see you guys later. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here tomorrow for the next